Come
Here.
here. Come here. No, me.
Come here.
You come up here.
All right.
Ah,
Swerved. Yeah. Well, hey.
Hey, everyone.
Hi. Sorry we missed.
No apologies.
Too
We're
bad.
back.
Too bad. We were gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been doing stuff. We went to the Midwest Gaming Classic for the second year in a row.
In
Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And it was super fun.
Again,
Super fun.
Yeah.
We found out afterwards this time that's one of the largest that exists in the country.
I thought it was one of the smaller ones, but it's not. It's one of the larger ones.
I'm always really worried about being hyperbolic about everything these days.
Why does it feel so much more manageable than like huge?
Milwaukee's empty. That's not for if you live in Milwaukee, like know that I say that like a compliment.
Yeah, we like Milwaukee.
I mean, as a city that still feels like a city, it's not like overrun with people all the time, which is really nice for people who don't like huge crowds. Mm-hmm. That helps the event seem less insane. You know, like I'm sure Comic-Con is fun. I've never been all those years right by it. I never went because every time someone showed footage, it was like
crazy.
Yeah.
I went to one Comic-Con in Maryland when I was in middle school or
not
early
Comic-Con.
High school. No, not California.
Yeah, San Diego.
But even that felt bigger.
Bigger. Yeah.
Even that felt bigger than
this?
Yeah, but to my 14-year-old self.
True. Yeah, so
it just doesn't feel big. It feels nice and small
it's
and manageable.
You know what it's like? This metaphor will mean nothing to so many people, but it is a lot like how Lambeau Field is a big, like huge NFL venue, but somehow feels like a high school field or something like that.
Yeah.
It's the Lambeau Field of video game conventions.
Yep.
Maybe not
just
as
to
historic.
Even more Wisconsin.
Yeah, exactly.
Wisconsonian.
Wisconsonian? That sounds so hoity-toity. Yeah, it was, speaking of Wisconsin, very Wisconsin in that it was started in someone's basement of their parents' basement, just like D&D was started. You know what I mean? So it's been going on for many years, I guess. But second time there, and it was really fun, just as fun as last time. You know, it was. It's nice to be around a bunch of big ol' nerds,
just like us.
Yeah, they make me feel not as much so, because I don't have like a pinball high score.
You're not like a pinball world champ.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I don't have like a Guinness book. But yeah, that was cool. So that we have a little video coming about that, because it's fun to take footage. We took one of our like old vintage camcorders and thought that would be like an appropriate way to film it. It was fun. It's also like it's not too long.
No, it's 3 days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Friday night is only for people who got a more expensive pass like we did.
It's one of those things that's worth a little more money. Again, preferences. If you don't want huge crowds, because it's mostly just people who paid extra for an extra early night where you just get to like play the games and it's kind of empty and it's real chill. It was fun. And then the Saturday is like the vendor hall where you blow some money on some collectibles or games or whatever, and then the Sunday's like a family day. But we went early Sunday and it was also empty, so there's only a handful of times that I like.
It's really busy.
Crazy,
and we generally miss all of those times.
Yeah, we miss all
by design. We miss all of those times.
It is deliberate. But yeah, that was really fun this year again.
It was.
You have anything to say about you
about the Midwest Gaming Classic?
Context here. The reason we went last year is because she gave me VIP ticket, very VIG, very important gamer tickets
for Christmas.
last year.
Yeah.
And it just so happened that they were on her birthday. And she gave that up.
We don't really care
about our birthdays. But so for her birthday, we did
last year and this year again.
And unexpected, you had enough fun to you're like, let's do it again on my birthday next year. So we did. And it was
I'm a great barometer. I did not think I was going to enjoy it. I like video games, but I'm relatively new to them. I don't know a ton.
Yeah.
Big crowds. Not my favorite.
Not
don't
a good
like
combo, it would seem.
But I had such a good time last year that...
Yeah.
And so we're going to keep going because, it's just fun. You get to walk around and play a bunch of games for free and play a bunch of pinball for free and see a bunch of cool shit. And Milwaukee's really fun. And, it's a good time.
Of it. And next year, for your penance, it will not be on your birthday. It's a little later in the year. So I'm sure we'll probably be there. So all y'all watching, if you're like, hey... I want to hang out with them. Midwest Gaming Classic 2026, assuming that we haven't started a world war between now and next year's convention.
Chances are not zero.
Not zero, which sucks. Yeah. Man, I just want to do stuff and live my life, and now I'm going to have to act like I'm a teen in the 60s or something.
We have to burn our draft cards or something.
Burn our bras.
And our draft cards.
And our our draft cards and our bras.
We're going to tape our draft cards to our bras and burn the whole thing.
What a protest. So we were doing that and working on some of that. And also I was talking to a friend today about how, because he was asking about introversion. I was like, the best way to describe it I've ever heard it described is introverts get energy from being alone and then expel it with people, and then extroverts get energy from being around people and expel it when they're alone. I know that's a gross generalization. It's a spectrum blah. I don't care about that. The point that I'm saying is that for me, that is very much how it is. So after we went to this thing, as much fun as we had, it's still being around a lot of people. Yeah, it was still I was so tired, socially tired the next week. And then it's finally spring here. So I've been doing tons of attempted lawn work, which I've never really tried before, but cleaning up dead trees I had a chainsaw and I was cutting through small dead limbs and things like that. He had on a backwards hat and sunglasses and hiking pants. Who is that guy up there? He's just working on the wooded area. Working the land. He's just working the land. He's being one with the land. Yep. So then that got me physically exhausted. So all that's just to say that we really only did one thing between the gaming classic and today. Yes. Which is that we're working. Well, this is multiple things immediately. I'm realizing we're working on the show. So we shot some stuff for the episode. It's always an ongoing thing. Watch our full episodes if you haven't already. And then we worked on some video for the Midwest Gaming Classic. But then we started playing Blueprints. And you've probably heard of this if you have not heard of it yet. If you haven't heard of it yet, again, we are anti-hyperbole, and I almost never believe it when everyone's like, this is great. That word is thrown around with just abandon. Not a lot of things are great. Good, maybe. Not great. Yeah. This is great. We just got obsessed with it. We played it many an hour. It's a roguelite puzzle game. Mm-hmm. An environmental puzzle walking sim game. It's a lot of things. Yeah. I'm going to say this phrase, and I don't want to turn anyone off because it would have turned me off. It is essentially a roguelite deck builder in that you have to craft your way through an environment with options like a deck. But that's not the important part because you're not using a deck to fight. You're using a deck to gain detective information about these puzzles. So what ends up happening that I think is probably the most surprising thing, I'm curious what your most surprising thing is. For me, it was that the volume of information that is kind of very well
Breadcrumbed?
Breadcrumbed. Thank you for turning it into a verb. Breadcrumbed throughout the game is vast. Like, it's crazy. And then when you finish the technical main quest in the game, I couldn't believe how much stuff we still hadn't figured out. It was like, it was mind-numbing. So I had heard things, but I was like trying not to listen too carefully because I didn't want any spoilers because it's so narrative driven. And I kind of got an idea about what it was from other people, that it was roguelite and you started days over again and all this stuff, but it didn't make any sense to me. No. So I would say this about this very strong recommendation. This is our review. Yeah. For lack of it, we'll put review up there. Someone's like, oh, Blueprints review. It's such a fine job of weaving multiple types of games together into its own thing. And I've played a lot of point-click adventures. I've played a lot of puzzle games over the years. I mean, Myst was very compelling to me when it first came out because I was pretty young, and the concept of like moving through an environment and solving puzzles that became larger puzzles, and for the curious of mind, it was a compelling idea for a game that had never really... There were like text-based games like Zork and these things where you'd like a choose-your-own-adventure kind of computer game. So when they moved into the visual space of like looking around to figure out a puzzle, that was always of interest to me, but they're really hard to do. So like there's not like a litany of amazing environmental puzzle games out there. There's like walking simulators where you kind of walk around and find stuff out. There's real ass puzzle games like The Witness and Talos Principle. But this is something in a new category almost because of its roguelite kind of repetition. Yeah. You get little bits each time. And the music's great. Yep. I'll shut up. Was there anything most surprising? Because you don't usually get into games so quickly as you did this one as well.
Limited mechanics. You don't have to be good at video games to play this game. You have to be able to walk around and point at things. Yeah. So that's always helpful to me. Mechanics are still where I get the most hung up, and they're the most tiring thing for me. Sure. That was a non-issue. But I love a mystery. I love to solve. I like to be handed clues. Yeah. I keep trying to convince Matthew to open up a detective agency with me. Comment below if you would hire our detective agency to solve all your mysteries.
Who has a need for a detective agency? Because for me, it's like a supply-demand issue. Like, are there enough people who would love to take two working artists and then be like, I trust them with this mystery to solve? If so, contact us. We're not talking internet sleuthing either. I'm talking about talking to people, getting on the ground.
Yeah, gumshoe work.
Old school gumshoe, detective noir, sitting in an office at 2 a.m., getting a call. Who is it? I don't know who it is, but I'm going to find out. Yeah. I'm going to drive down to that warehouse, and I'm going to...
smell the dirt.
It's gunpowder.
Oh my God, wow. I don't know what kind of mystery we're solving here.
It's a murder.
The roguelite aspect makes it really easy to play as much as you want to. Like, it's a contained run, so it's great for sitting down. You could do one run if you wanted to, just to like do it. We played for like 8 hours straight on Sunday, maybe longer.
We had like plans of doing things. Yeah. And those plans, we just had to get like DoorDash to feed ourselves.
Played until like 10.
You know what I mean? 11 We're like, we got to get food. Someone's got to bring us food while we solve this.
And yeah, I think the thing that was most, I think the thing I was hooked by the most was the different types of puzzles and how fun they were. There are word puzzles. There are picture puzzles, there are math puzzles, there are space puzzles, pattern recognition. It's a lot. There's strategy also. There's
you have to pay attention a lot.
Yes.
And I love that.
I love paying attention to things.
It makes there's value in being observant, which is really that's not the case in most games, honestly.
Yeah.
And it's a big thing of why I like Metroidvanias and From Software games and the like, is because if I turn off the path and find a little something that visually seems curious, it's nice to be rewarded for that as often as possible. And this game is like mostly that.
We took 12 small but whole pages of actual notes, because you kind of have to take notes because of the roguelite aspect, and
phone pictures. Like you really have to put together a little journal for the game, and it would ruin it so much too. It was really nice to have a game where we did not go online for any help, and we're like, we have to figure this out, and be compelled enough by the game to not want to cheat our way out of it, you know?
And the narrative's just really good. It's compelling. Nothing was trite or too cliche. Mm-hmm. Everything felt kind of fresh.
The world is bigger than you think.
Tons of world building details. There's like a lot jam-packed into it. And we rolled credits on it last night, and we were talking about it with some friends, and I was saying, you know, the ending is going to be really key, because there's so much information that if you roll credits and it just feels like, oh, well, that's that, then you probably won't go back and play it. But there was so much stuff that we didn't figure out, even though we rolled credits, that, like, the mystery isn't solved yet. It's a really smart way to get people to keep playing the game, because the main narrative is accomplishable, and if all you care about, this isn't spoiling anything, is getting the house, then you can get the house. Yeah. And that's fine. But that's not actually what is going on.
The brilliance, right, is you find out what the premise is in the first two. This is like any great film, really, is that you find out what the premise is kind of right out the gate.
Right, immediately.
And then you're like, oh, this seems, I won't say easy, but you're like, I get what I'm supposed to do here. And then you do not get what you're supposed to do, because it's a really hard mystery to solve. But then you find 5 of the threads that lead you to the ultimate, like, end game. But then there's like 10 other threads that when the game ends or you roll credits, you just keep solving more about. And I can't imagine another game where I've wanted to just keep digging into the world. It's pretty remarkable that way. I mean, it's so good that I would take a sequel immediately. But also DLC would be fine. I mean, anything. It reminds me a little bit of, is it called The Mystery of the Golden Idol, or the one we played was just the Case of the Golden
Idol, which we
that's also really great. But that has like a good, pretty rich world narrative. But this is like has room to be much bigger, which is compelling.
Well, and again, Golden Idol was great and amazing. I loved that. Was another game that I got obsessed with. Great art, good, great story, really fun.
Fun for couples, to solve. By the way. Like,
fun to play together, or anybody who plays games
we like
together.
To play games together, but there aren't a lot that kind of do it for both of us at the same time. Yeah. And so, you know, our short list is like Disco Elysium and that, and like
It Takes Two.
It Takes Two, yeah. But there's not a lot.
Co-op, and then FromSoft games. Fun to play together.
Yep.
Probably more fun to play with somebody than by yourself. Like, I would have liked playing this by myself, but it
is nice to talk about the mystery.
Yeah. Lots of talking. Like, you want somebody to bounce ideas off of.
Sure, you could be a solitary gumshoe, right? Sure, you could sit there at your desk and the dames might walk in and they might ask for help. And you're like, I'm not getting, that's my voice. Yeah. Or, I'm not getting shot by some husband dame or whatever line there is in there. High bar.
Yeah.
Really nice.
Anyway, you could do that.
But it's more fun to have someone else at the agency where you can yell across desks and say, what's that garden? Oh, what is it called? Watering can. What's that watering can for? Did you find anything?
Yeah.
I'm not making it sound quite as thrilling as it is about the watering can, but just trust me. But yeah, it's quite a mystery.
It's just super fun and immersive and really requires you to think about stuff. Really addictive. Yeah.
Vibes, too.
Good vibes.
Music.
Really smart.
Some great music things in there.
Saxophone.
There's
jams.
There are. It's surprising.
Yeah.
And now I'm on to the challenge of
what to play next.
It's one of those time periods too that you have the Switch 2 on the horizon. You've got with Metroid 4, got to play that, but then Metroid Prime.
Night Rain comes out at the end of May.
Night Rain comes out, and there's other stuff too. Well, thinking about Berserk Kazan, and Assassin's Creed Shadows, which I started playing. It's better than I thought. The last one was rough for me. Boring. Repetitive.
We gave
not bad. And then there was one other one I started.
Lords of the Fallen.
Oh yeah, so Lords of the Fallen. It's such a funny story. I don't want to I want to talk about this like I would say this to their face, like the developers. So funny. It came out as like a wannabe Souls really early, and it was just rough and not good. And then I heard they're reimagining the whole thing, same studio. And they did, and I was excited that it looked good. It looked like they'd learned. And then everyone was like, it's a janky mess, and the combat feels like shit, and all this stuff. And I was like, oh God, they did it again. And then I just saw a thing the other day that was like, Lords of the Fallen 2.0, and I wanted to be like, you mean 5.0? But okay. It's so much better. I think they really were like, we really need to pay attention to everything the community says. And I gotta say, it doesn't fix it into some masterpiece, but the combat felt good. It looks great. It looks very good. Was running well. At least on the PS5 Pro, it was running really well. And so I don't know. Those 3 games are toss-ups. Do I want to
tune into a future IO to find out which one he ends up playing?
I don't know. Have any recommendations?
Have you played any of those games? Have you played Blueprints? Were you interested in playing Blueprints based on our lengthy discussion about it? Oh my goodness.
You should get down.
Yeah.
Own it.
Do it.
Yeah, you're going to like it.
Yeah.
I think that's it. Anything else? Trying to stay positive. I hate that.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to stay alive.
I'm just trying to stay put.
Yeah, exactly. Are you trying to stay put? I hope you're doing okay.
Yeah.
More than anything, I hope you're doing okay.
Yep.
Tell us in the comments how you're doing. Tell us what you're playing.
Yeah.
Tell us what you feel about gaming conventions, puzzle games.
Yeah.
Really whatever you want.
Or anything else you want. The comments are
comments
open
are
to you.
yours to ruin.
Yeah.
Please ruin them.
Wreck them.
Did we watch anything?
Not really.
Nope. For next time. We'll watch something. We'll report back about it.
Yeah.
Oh, we got an Arrow video thing of Tetsuo, the Iron Man. Have you seen this? We're going to talk about it in our full episode.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Why are you making that face at me? Man.
Bye.
Bye.
What I'm thinking.